storm is brewing in the United Kingdom. Overnight, new immigration rules have shaken the future of millions. Refugees. Shabana Mahmood's radical asylum reforms have opened a new chapter of strict controls, uncertain protections, and global consequences. Who will be able to stay? Which countries will be targeted? And which professions will face the greatest impact? The answers may change the entire map of UK immigration. Key UK immigration asylum reforms proposed by Shabana Mahmood. Here are the major changes she has announced or put forward. 1. Temporary refugee status. Refugee status will become temporary, not permanent. Specifically, the protection period would be cut from 5 years to 30 months, and then regularly reviewed. If a refugee's home country is later judged to be safe there, protection could be revoked, and they may be required to return. 2. Longer wait for permanent settlement, indefinite leave to remain. The waiting period to apply for permanent settlement would increase drastically. New, especially illegal, arrivals could face 20 years before being eligible. This is a major shift from the current or previous system, where many could apply much sooner. The idea is that settlement is not an automatic right, but something earned. 3. Conditional earned settlement. To get earned settlement faster, there would be contribution-based criteria, things like volunteering, working, having a clean criminal record, paying into Social Security, speaking good English, etc. High earners and entrepreneurs might get faster settlement. According to some reports, they could qualify after as little as 3 years, under the new proposed model. For health and care workers, e.g., NHS staff, there are special considerations. Doctors and nurses reportedly could settle after 5 years under the new plan. On the other hand, those who claim benefits or are not contributing could face much longer waits or may not qualify as quickly. 4. Support benefits for asylum seekers. The legal duty to automatically provide housing and financial support to asylum seekers would be removed. Discretionary support. Asylum seekers who have the right to work but do not work may be denied support. Those who break the law, fail to comply with removal orders, or otherwise are difficult could also lose support. The government may also check for high-value items owned by asylum seekers to ask them to contribute to accommodation costs. 5. Family reunification right to family life. The reforms propose to narrow the definition of family under Article 8 of the European Convention on Human Rights. Only immediate family would be covered more clearly. The public interest test would be redefined so that removal becomes the default, with family life claims allowed only in exceptional circumstances. Claims under Article 8 would be first handled by the Home Office rather than in courts. 6. Visa sanctions return pressure on certain countries. The UK may impose visa bans or restrictions on Angola, Namibia, unless those countries cooperate more on repatriation of their nationals. These visa measures could target tourists, business travelers, diplomats, etc., not just asylum seekers. 7. Return or removal of failed asylum seekers. For asylum seekers whose claims are rejected, failed asylum seekers, the government plans to take a much tougher approach, removing financial support and enforcing removals, including families. They may offer incentive payments, e.g., cash, to encourage voluntary return. But if they refuse, the UK could escalate to enforced return. 8. Use of technology AI. There is a proposal to use AI to assess the age of people arriving, e.g., to check if someone is a minor. This is controversial. Critics warn that AI could be biased, make mistakes, and wrongly classify vulnerable children. 9. New safe and legal routes. Mahmood's plan includes the creation of capped, safe, and legal refugee routes. One suggested model is similar to Canada's private sponsorship scheme, local UK. Communities could sponsor refugees. These routes were genuine refugees, but with limits caps. People arriving via these legal routes might have faster and easier access to settlement or citizenship. 10. International law ECHR reforms. Mahmood plans to reform how Article 3, prohibition of torture or degrading treatment of the ECHR is applied. especially in deportation cases. The government argues some current interpretations are being abused, e.g., by criminals resisting removal by claiming mistreatment at home. She says she will work with international partners, e.g., Council of Europe, to push for changes. Which countries will be affected? Based on these proposals, here are the countries and people likely to be most affected. 1. Countries likely most impacted: Angola, Namibia, Democratic Republic of the Congo. These are specifically mentioned as countries whose citizens may face visa restrictions if their governments do not cooperate with returns. Refugees from small boat or irregular routes. Many of the proposed stricter rules, 20-year wait, temporary status, seem aimed especially at those who enter the UK via irregular, illegal, or unauthorised routes. Asylum seekers whose home countries may later be deemed safe. Because status is to be regularly reviewed, people from countries that improve or are judged safe might be more vulnerable to losing protection. 2. Which professions migrant types are particularly impacted? Healthcare workers. These are explicitly mentioned. Under the new system, they may be able to settle in 5 years. High earners and entrepreneurs, people who earn high incomes, run businesses, or otherwise contribute economically, may benefit from a fast-track settlement under the earned settlement model. Low-paid or benefit-dependent migrants, those who rely on public funds, benefits, or who come through less contribution-based paths, are likely to wait much longer for settlement or face tougher conditions. Irregular or overstaying migrants, people who overstay visas or arrive illegally and then claim asylum, are especially targeted for the long wait, stricter rights, and tougher removal. Key risks, criticisms, and concerns. Some of the major criticisms or risks of these proposals, based on media, NGOs, human rights commentary. Humanitarian risk. Making refugee status temporary and revocable could lead to insecurity, especially if a home country becomes safe in government assessment but may not be safe for individuals. Family separation. Narrowing family reunification rights, Article 8, could prevent many refugees from bringing over broader family members. Destitution. Removing automatic housing or financial support may push asylum seekers, especially vulnerable ones, into poverty. Use of AI. Using AI to decide age is controversial, with risk of bias or misclassification. Diplomatic fallout. Visa bans on Angola, Namibia, DRC could strain diplomatic relations, especially if perceived as punitive. Legal, ECHR challenge. Reinterpreting or limiting ECHR rights. Articles 3 and 8 may trigger legal challenges domestically or in European institutions. Summary, in simple points. Shabana Mahmood's plan is one of the most significant asylum overhauls in decades for the UK. Refugee status will become temporary, with periodic reviews. Permanent settlement, ILR, wait could stretch to 20 years for some, especially those arriving via irregular routes. There will be a new earned settlement system. Contribute more, settle faster. Some visa bans may be imposed on Angola, Namibia, DRC if they don't cooperate on returns. Support, housing, allowances for asylum seekers will no longer be a guaranteed right. It becomes discretionary. Family reunification rights will be limited. Only close family, parents and children, likely to be prioritized. Failed asylum seekers and their families will face stronger removal policies. Enforced returns possible. Use of AI to check age is proposed. Controversial. New safe and legal refugee routes will be introduced, but with caps.